The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Here I am. Hello. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. It's Monday.
Is it?
I know. I have to be honest with everyone. We're
not.
taping this on Friday, which is April 1st. April Fool's Day.
So are you telling the truth?
I am actually. It is.
Yeah,
It is Friday here, but it is Monday to you, and just I appreciate all the listeners. I wanted this to be a very current show of oh, they taped it that day. There's going to be some times where we just can't do that. Doesn't mean that the show's going to lack anything else. And in fact, doing it later in the day, it's 4 p.m. here. We usually do the show around. We say 11 o'clock, and then it gets pushed to about 11:45, 12:15. It's just a different vibe. My face, I feel like you should go check this video out. I think my face is less puffy. I give myself that because when I see sometimes the stills of our video on our channel, which I'm subscribed to and they always pop up, sometimes I'm just like, it's almost like when you accidentally see yourself in your camera and you just go, oh God, I don't want to see that. And there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, my face is doing things that it's hard to to deal with because I'm aging, but I always help myself by going you used to look like that. That was a couple days ago, or I say it was in the morning and you were puffier. Also, I will say the other day when I was in New York City, I was running into so many people I haven't seen in 2 years, and it's so interesting to see 2 years of age on people's faces.
Yeah.
It's just this slight difference where I used to see these people every single day, and for some of them I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to say it to their face, to their old saggy face, but they've definitely aged, and then I was just like, wow, God, people are aging. It's and then I was like, oh my God, they're probably thinking the same thing about me because they haven't seen me in 2 years,
I got a lot of texts.
Yeah, from people
they're
that
COVID's tough and St. Louis food must be good. That's what people said.
I
don't know if it's about you. It was just random. It was
just out of nowhere.
Yeah, it might have
Just
been
Steve, the door guy at the Comedy Cellar. How does he even have your number?
I don't know. He wouldn't.
No, there are some people though that I have to say looked better. And I do think that I look better as I age. I told you the story of Francis Ford Coppola being like, how did you get so beautiful? And I said confidence. And he said, no, I think it's genetics. But I do feel that the more confident I get, just being comfortable in your own skin just makes you attractive. It kind of, it tricks people into thinking you're better looking than you are because you're just exuding happiness. And, but I will get a facelift at some point, 100%. I look at my dad's face. I have a dad bod and I have my dad's face, and my dad, our Glazer's faces just kind of get a little craggy. My dad, it looks really cool on him. And I'm not just saying that, I think it just, my dad is always God, I look weathered whenever he sees a picture of himself. And I'm like, yeah, you look like an old Native American, the guys you used to worship that we have pictures around in our house. You look like
He's turning
you're
into
wise.
one of those cool fossils he has.
Yeah.
But cool, and hot. He looks like he could light a match on his face without even facial hair.
Yes.
That's how it's not leathery, but it's
my grandma
strong.
and my aunt had the same skin, and I think it's also sun. He loves the sun, and he doesn't moisturize. He never has, and also cigarettes for years and years. And there was this picture I posted. Did you see my Instagram story the other day?
No, what was it?
It was yesterday,
it
but it was of the Cheers cast.
Oh, and what their ages
That
are?
was
Their ages.
shocking.
How fucking crazy was that?
Shocking.
So just so if you missed it, I just want to go through. This is the Cheers cast, when they were when the show was at its utmost popularity. So whatever you're picturing of the Cheers cast, that is these are these ages. Let me just tell you. I know,
but I want to see their faces.
No, you can just picture them. Ted Danson and Cheers. Yeah, pull up their faces.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ted Danson was 35. He definitely looks in this picture 47.
Wait, is it on your thing right now?
Yeah, it's on my story right now.
Okay.
I'll
Shelley
put it
Long
up right there on the
was
screen.
33. Yeah, it's on the screen, so if you want to go watch our YouTube, you don't have to go scramble to find it. Shelley Long was 33.
I can't picture her.
George Wendt, 34, and he is so freaking. It's at the very bottom. It's at the very top of my story.
Okay, got you. Okay.
George Wendt is like the...
Dude, that dude's 58?
58 is the old man. The old man that I don't know his name on the show. And then Rita Perlman, who looks
34?
34, dude, 34. You guys you have to check out this photo because it's just trippy. And it said underneath it, like, what happened to them? And I go, smoking inside their whole lives.
Yeah.
Smoking inside, smoking every day, sun, like no sun protection, like not drinking enough water. All of these things.
Yeah,
I woke up in the middle of the night last night after seeing this, or not after this, but after a bunch of other things, and just drank so much water.
Yeah.
I saw Kendall Jenner getting ready for the Oscar party, and she was like, I don't know, on just days like this, I just like love to hydrate. I just drink like tons of water, and I'm just like, I haven't had water today. Like,
I know.
And then I got out of bed at like 4 a.m.
It would be funny to see this show, but it's just based in a like a smoothie bar. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Same
yeah.
exact show.
Like a Jamba Juice.
Everybody
knows your name.
And they'll look so young and vibrant. They'd all be wearing Lululemon.
I'm telling you,
I
dude.
mean, part of it's the hair.
Change.
Women with their hair was different. Like even girls in the 80s in high school when they had the puffy hair.
Yes.
The makeup was a little different.
I looked older than I look now, and I'm not joking you. When I was a senior in high school, in some pictures, I look so much older, and I don't know what it is, but I think it does have something to do with injections in your face and the beauty.
And you could see your skeleton
changing
more
so
then.
much. Yes, you could. Oh my god,
every skeleton looks old.
Oh my god, I like my old joke of like your skeleton's horizontal stripes, and so it makes you look fat.
Yeah, I love that.
Love it. So
wait, what? Wait, why do you think? Well, I've heard that men have less testosterone now, so then that might be another reason why they look younger these days.
Because testosterone ages you.
I think it makes you more manly and
More
I think
stressed.
Yeah.
It is interesting. Like I feel, I just know, and I hate to say this, but I just know that I'm gonna get a facelift someday. Like I just,
It's okay. At what age? What are we talking?
And I'll tell everyone about it because I will have to be like, I'm going away for a little bit. I would say probably around 40, 41. I'm about to turn 38. Like I just, a little thing here and there. Modern.
Can you get like a mild lift now?
Yeah, there's tons of like mild ways.
My
of
mom
doing
got
things.
a facelift and it was pretty.
I just wish people were more open about this stuff because they aren't. I just don't really know that much about it, and I'm someone who actually looks into it, and it's all very just secretive, and people don't say what they've had, and I would just like to be like, oh, that's like, I was looking at Kendall Jenner getting ready for the Oscars on this fucking Vogue thing that just came out on YouTube. And I know she's had literal surgery done on her face at this point. Like it's just, I don't know that, but I would bet a lot of money on it. And I'm looking for scars or like, I wish people could tell you what they did. I love that Amy said she had liposuction. Schumer came out and said that because it's just nice to know that, you know, it's just nice to know. And I like how she said, you know, I never thought I would get this. And there's a part of me that feels like there was a part of her that was a little bit like ashamed to do it, but she still told people about it because she easily could have kept that secret and no one would have ever known. And I think that's what most people do. And they just lie to you guys. They lie and they say they've never had work done. Don't
it also
ever
makes
trust.
it safer when celebrities talk about it. Like I had a friend who got liposuction, I don't know, like 10 years ago, and she had to go to South America to do it.
No,
so I think
don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be interested in lipo, but like I've said, watching E like in the I guess
Botch
early
or what?
2000s. I don't know. They're used to show surgeries,
Yeah.
and the surgeons are just so rough and cavalier with your body and your skin, and the way they do that. You guys know what I'm talking about? That little
it looks
rod.
so
They're almost
aggressive.
like I've seen. You know, guys at Jiffy Lube put a little rod inside to test my oil with like more
Or
delicateness.
get a little hole in your tire to fix it.
Delicateness isn't a word. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like they need to look at your body like it's just a fucking thing. And so,
It is interesting. It's secretive, yet
and they're playing God.
it's written, no pun intended, but it's written all over your face. Like, it's an interesting thing to be so secretive about while being so, you
It's not,
can't hide
though.
it. It's
You
so
can.
open.
You can, though, because these girls get just little things that they go, oh, I've been drinking more water. It's so subtle.
Why
And
do you think they
everyone
like
does
to
it.
keep it
I
a
think it's more
secret?
subtle the younger you are when you get it.
And the filters help.
know what
so
I mean?
like you start filtering your face, and then by the time you get the surgery scars end, you have the face that was a filter. So you get people used to it.
Oh, so I
Sorry,
guess if
Noah, what was your
oh,
question?
yeah.
Why do you think they like to keep it a secret?
Because it's embarrassing that you're that vain. I mean, it's because it's you're trying to look good without admitting that you actually care. Like everyone needs to act like they're not trying. And the truth is, what's more trying than putting yourself under anesthesia, risking spending, $30,000, $100,000? It's embarrassing for people to be like, I care this much, what people think about my face. It's interesting because they shouldn't. And I that's why I just want to live a life of honesty, because it isn't, once you admit things that are really embarrassing that you think that people can't handle or that will ruin you, I just have never found it to be, I've never told the truth about something and regretted it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in today's world, though, that, because Botox is so, like, you could literally get it at a gas station, you get pump 89. And
Botox is much more like people can say.
My point, though, is that it's like, it's the training wheels for people to feel more comfortable about being like, yeah, I've had a few things done.
Yeah.
So maybe in 10 years, it'll be like, yeah, I got a facelift when I was 14.
I think it used to be very, like, embarrassing to admit you dyed your hair. I think that used to be. Now it's like,
yeah.
I think women used to like hide that and be like, no, I don't color my hair. And it's like, shh,
It's like,
I've
Grandma,
got a
your hair's
secret.
purple. Like,
Yeah.
And I was like, did you dye it purple? She's like, that's natural. And I was like, I don't know what that tricked me.
Yeah.
Thelma, you wild cat.
So you're right. Maybe times are changing and it's just like, it's going to take longer. But
Well, it's interesting with women that you have to, like, the one thing, you can't talk about your facelift, but everything else. With men, I was at dinner the other night with my older brother, 2 of his associates, and a woman associate. And it's kind of cool to see a woman in finance, like that, like kind of manly. It kind of reminds me of like you being a female comedian, or like female comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And she was unbelievable. Like, whatever, not just for a woman, just like the coolest out of all of them, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was so funny.
she's single.
I don't know. I have no idea. But she was talking about how she's anti-aging, even though she was so pro.
She's anti.
So
things
she's
that
aging.
You do
So she's aging.
to age. How old is she?
She's probably, I'm guessing, mid-40s.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But now she's back on anti-aging. But my point being is that I go, oh yeah. I was like, and then we got to talking about the different kind of the facials I've gotten, like the hydroplane, and the guys were like, what? You do what? And I was talking about like the different skincare stuff, and like there's still like guys can't even say like I put on moisturizer. Like we're still even there where like you did a 3-step process. Like,
You guys
what are
have
you
a
doing?
long way to go.
Oh my God, such a long way to go. But I mean, what is just the pussification of
it's
men?
just you're so scared of being gay.
Yeah.
You're scared of being women.
Or taking care of yourself.
Or they just
It's
don't
weird.
know. Avi like had no idea what a toner was until I was like, no, here you go. This is you put this on before moisturizer.
But that
They
comes
just need
like
help.
Avi is not scared of being feminine or whatever, but the fact that he doesn't know is from society's like not like the overarching feeling of not wanting men to be masculine, and so he doesn't know because his friends don't do it, and they, you know what I'm saying? Like
You put
it
Old
might not be
Spice on it.
him feeling
when
that
it
way,
comes
but
to
the
shaving
fact
his
that-
head, he knows all like the secrets. You know, like him and
Yes.
his friends have their little tricks and
Oh my
tips.
God. The way that men talk about their hairlines and study other men's hairlines, and like it is some of the gayest things I've ever heard of my life. Like they
There
are,
you go.
and I'm saying that obviously as with humor, because that's word. So it's just so ironic to use that word at this point because it's so stupid. But like, no, it's like it's very. I feel like I when I'm here, guys talk, cis straight men, talking about hairlines. They sound more like chatty little women, like The View, than than any of my girlfriends. It's wild, and they don't even know that they're doing it. But it becomes your obsession.
And then you don't want anyone. You know what though? I'll give it to that Dave Portnoy guy, the guy from Barstool.
Oh, don't give him anything.
But I'll just give.
Give
Well, he
it
gave
to-
himself hair plugs, and he's very honest
Open about it. Okay.
Very open about his hair plugs.
Yeah.
It was so funny. One of the guys gave him a noogie. Like right
There
on the
was
plugs.
no way that he was going to get away with having those otherwise. He had to come out about
That's
it.
true.
Which,
So if you've been seen with him, even though McConaughey still, for some reason, can play the fifth. Play the fifth? Plead the fifth.
play the you playing too much golf.
Play today.
Yeah, I think that it's
But anyways, yes, hair with men, because there is a lot of women that will not date or marry a bald guy. Like it's like you're 5'9" and bald, you're cut off unless somehow like I've given up. and then I'll.
It's a
accept
totally
you.
different look. There's just something about it that means you're not as virile or something, like tells us biologically like there's something you're aging essentially. And maybe don't have as much sperm that can get us pregnant. There's something about it that makes us unattracted to you that isn't that it's inherently an ugly
Well, if you
look.
look at a male lion,
well, that's
tons
what you
of hair,
feel the
like
same
so
way
many.
about women. Like
Yeah.
you guys like a lot of like luscious locks, like long hair. Whenever girls cut their hair short, guys are always like, looks good, but they would prefer it long.
Yeah.
Like it's just true.
Well, it comes back to the alopecia thing.
I loved your point about like why is it okay? It's not okay to joke about alopecia, but it's okay to joke about men being bald
All day
and male
long.
pattern bald. And one is a disease, and one is male pattern baldness. It's still a thing that they don't choose, much like a disease.
It's a disease.
genetic.
Yeah, your hair falling
I
out.
don't think it counts as a disease. I don't.
But
think
what's
it's
a
like,
disease? If your
I don't
fingernails
know.
are falling
Ask
out,
your
that's
dad. He's a doctor.
I'll ask my dad. He's bald.
It's not a disease.
It looks like one. No, I'm saying that as a guy that
I
wears
was-
hats a lot. But no, I guess I looked into that and I go, well, why isn't it not? Why are we making this word up for baldness for women? Because all their hair can fall out,
Yeah.
like your
Yeah,
eyebrows.
you're right. Yeah,
that's where
that's a disease. It's a
that's
disease.
a disease.
Yeah.
But that's where the disease.
I will say, well, the thing. This is very interesting because I guess it was a couple nights ago. My boyfriend was telling me about a situation he was in which he was like, man, I usually handle it this way, and this time I did I just went in a more emotional, like it was a more just like thoughtful, like turn the other cheek, kind of like empathetic instead of aggressive approach to a conflict that he handled. And he said, it's really hard for me. I just feel so ridiculous, not just lashing out the way that I would normally want to, And he was like, I go, it's going to get more comfortable. And he was like, it helps to hear you say that it's like attractive to you, because I'm like, it's so attractive to me that you're being more emotional and like leading with your feelings and other people's feelings instead of just like anger and aggression. And like if I were Jada Pinkett Smith, I would have been fucking horrified at what Will Smith did. I would have been like shrieking like, no, please stop. Like I would be so embarrassed. But I said to him, I go, one way you can look at it, like I think why it's so masculine to me for him to do this is because it's so hard for him.
Yeah.
And like doing something that's difficult is masculine. And so actually being emotional is really masculine because it's the more difficult thing. Like I'm more impressed by that than like him riding 1,000 miles on a bike trail or like climbing some 18 thing. 18
Like instead of fighting a lion, bringing coffee.
He's
in the
doing this
morning.
thing that's deeply uncomfortable for him against everything he wants to do because he knows it's the right thing to do. Like what's sexier or more masculine than that? I mean, I'm so horny for it.
It's hard though. There's a hard line there of like trying to meet aggression with turning the other cheek, like Dalai Lama style, when it's like in your face. Like
I
it's
know,
so
but
difficult.
I was listening to more Stoic stuff today, and they said exactly what Stoics are. If someone is like talking shit in your face
Nothing
and
to do
calling
with
you a
you.
pussy and
Yeah.
everything, what you say to them, a perfect Stoic goes, "Good for you," and just walks away. Like
Well,
literally,
yeah.
like does not.
I do that with comments a lot of times.
Not
on-
trying to
on
get their
Instagram.
goat,
Yeah.
not trying to, like, all you're doing is trying to protect your goat to not be got. That's all you're doing. You just don't want people to get your goat and just living your life in a way that your goat has never got. That's what being a Stoic is. Let's take a quick break and then come back with the news and other stuff. Andrew!
I'm coming in now.
We're back. Today is later in the day. I want to ask you, what have you done today?
I did a lot today.
Yeah, I bet.
Worked out in the morning. Wake up. I make coffee for Brenna every morning.
Oh, that's
It's kind of
nice.
nice to do that for my daughter. And then I send
don't
her
like
off.
that.
I pack her a half a sandwich and take off the crust, and we have a
Do you
great
put it in a
morning.
lunchbox?
No, I really do. What's that?
Do you put it in a lunchbox?
Yeah, a little lunchable, little He-Man. They man now. Okay, take that joke out. Anyhow,
Why?
they. Oh no, I'm pronounced.
You think that will get you canceled saying he-man or they-man?
Anyways, there's man in it. He-Man is man.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to go they. They, them.
Watch me, they. Watch me
me
whip. Watch me, they.
Okay, so you made a little sack lunch. You wrote a note and said, honey, have a great day.
Honey, enjoy the honey.
Yeah.
On top of banana and peanut
You
butter.
signed her permission slip to go on the field trip.
I wanted to go. I signed it for me. So, anyways, I send her off in her little bus, and well, it's not okay. It's a they bus.
What?
It's not little.
What is little?
A pronoun.
Little is not a thing. Unless you're doing little person, which is the correct thing.
My thing was short bus, but then I tried to cover short bus by saying they bus. But
gotcha.
I don't know if that works.
Okay.
If you could just do it with everything.
I think you should just not do it anymore.
I gotta stop this.
Yeah, stop.
Am I cutting
So
this whole
then-
thing out? I don't know.
Hard stop. No.
No.
Keep
You
it
gotta
all
leave
in.
it in. Yeah.
just kidding.
If I get canceled, I've never been started. Anyhow, so I went to the gym, our gym.
Don't call it our gym.
Our baby
I've never
gym.
been there.
Yeah, you went one time, I think.
I went because you said there was like a hot guy down there, and I like ran down. He was gone.
You were exhausted.
And I left.
You're like,
I just hated working out when the band, like when everyone was wearing masks. And, like,
oh yeah.
you're just breathing so heavy and like, ugh.
Well, everyone's maskless now. But
Yeah.
then I went and got stretched, which is, if you're above 40, my uncle, 2 fake hips. My dad's on his 2nd fake hip. I don't
I've
really
gotten
want to get a
stretched
fake
before.
hip.
I love it.
Oh, you've gone to stretch you or whatever?
I haven't been there, but I went one time right before Dancing with the Stars. I was like, I need to start like limbering up my body, so I went to a stretcher
What did you
place.
think?
I liked it, and I always used to get stretched after my personal trainer I had. It was awesome. It was the best part of the whole thing.
My little teenager brain is like, she got stretched. Like,
Oh
it's just
yeah, like I
yeah.
porn.
No, stretch it.
What? Oh, like
They.
I'm not even going to dignify this with a ham drop because I don't want it to be a thing. Not because I'm offended or I'm protecting anyone, but because it's stupid.
It's so dumb. So then, but I really like it. They like, if you're a lazy guy that doesn't want to do yoga, do this twice a week, and it will change. It really does
Make
help
you more flexible?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's
And
awesome.
If you're lazy as fuck,
I want to go.
I'll show you. It's on Manchester.
Cool.
So then I went from there.
Let's stretch
Then I went to Golf Galaxy.
to get some new stuff.
I'm there literally once every 2 days. I don't even buy anything. It's just a
You
place
just like
for
to
me.
go.
It's like my Cheers.
Well, if there was like a Taylor Swift store with just like all of her things there, I'm in the Taylor Swift merch store every other day.
yeah, you don't have to buy any.
No,
I
I
just
just wanna
go in
look,
there. I
see what's
smell the
happening.
smells.
Yeah.
I touched a fake fake grass. Mm-hmm. What word was I trying to?
Do they know your name now? Is that your Cheers?
They've seen me plenty. They know me.
They know
well, the
you.
one knows my name. I have 2 places.
Okay.
Golf Galaxy is a little bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Also found a nicer Golf Galaxy in Chesterfield, an extra 15-minute drive.
Okay. Yes.
That's where you're getting pretty intense.
Okay.
When you're crossing state lines, that's
So,
when, So then
you
I
went to
went
Golf Galaxy,
Yeah, I went
then
to
you
Golf
went
Galaxy.
golfing.
Then I went golfing. Played 9 holes, shot a 40. Not bad. I played okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then I putted. Then I came back, made some food, and now I'm here.
wow.
That's a lot, though. That's
That's
a
a
good
lot.
That's a productive day.
That's a big day.
When
Yeah.
did you do that?
I got up at God. I got up. I had to have a COVID test because I'm going to the Grammys pre-show thing. Pre. I'm going that on Sunday. So I had a COVID test, walked the dog, came back
Wait,
here.
what was
I know.
that?
I just wanted to spice
I
it up.
know, that was
I'm so
fun.
bored with what I'm saying that I had to add something to it. So I walked the dog, and then I got a coffee, and I came back here, and I took my my meds and my vitamins, and I ate some breakfast,
like
and
Joan
then I went
Rivers.
back to sleep. And I waited for I like to chug a coffee, and then I like to
right to
go back
bed.
to sleep and take a nap on it. And I listened to a Stoic podcast. I fell asleep to that. I woke up an hour later, and then I went and I played guitar for a little bit. I cleaned up around the house because I had the maids coming over, and I did some laundry because I'm going out of town for a week and a half. And then my housekeeper showed up, and then I answered some emails, did some stuff like that, and then the housekeeper came over, and then I came in here to avoid all that while it was going on, and I played guitar in here. And I'm sorry, I had a call about I'm doing daily pop on E and nightly pop on E twice a day next week for Monday through Thursday. I'm doing it twice a day, and so I had a little
What is that, a
creative
TV
call.
show?
Yeah, it's on E, and it's a live show on for Daily Pop, and then it's pre-taped for the nightly one. But I'm doing 2 a day, and then I just thought about what I'm gonna wear for this types of stuff, and
You got a Marissa Tomei thing going here.
oh, I do. Hers is more like this,
Yeah.
it's more flirty and opinionated. But
Yeah.
I've never like seen her in anything except I just like know it from like that one scene where she's like with Joe Pesci in bed.
For some reason, I see Schumer when you do
Really?
Schumer doing a Tomei there.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whoa,
what that is.
I love
watched
it.
her whole show, by the way.
I did too. I loved it. Life and Beth.
Cried a little in the last scene.
Me too. I cried.
Thinking about my own mom.
I
that
cried
kind of
about.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
during the funeral, whatever.
I cried when she was the little girl had to wear a wig to school.
Oh yeah.
That made me cry. Of like just having like, I just related to having a thing you're doing
Like
because of
picking,
anxiety.
yeah.
And your whole family knows about it and they don't know what to do without it and they're whispering about it and you're like a pariah. Like it I loved that show.
Rachel was great in it.
So good. I talked to her about it. I was
did
just like,
so
girl,
good.
you were amazing.
Even when she played the younger girl.
What do you mean?
Oh, that wasn't.
The younger girl.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, she played the younger version of herself. That would be insane. That would be like Pen 15.
But actually, you know who was fucking fantastic?
The mom.
Rappaport.
Oh my God, Michael
Dude, that
Rappaport was
scene-
so fucking good.
the scene where
I
he-
knew you would
the-
love that.
oh
I knew you would
my
love that scene.
God.
If you haven't seen Life is Best, can we talk about Deep Water really quick before we go?
Oh,
my God.
finally.
Okay, we've all watched Deep
I don't
Water.
know if we're gonna give it enough time.
It doesn't matter. Wait, does
we
it
gotta do a deep
deserve
dive.
We can
enough
bypass
time?
the news.
Honestly,
A deep dive water.
Deep Water. If you haven't seen it, it's on Hulu. It is so awful. Okay, can we just like talk about? Oh, you know what? Why don't we do I'm moving top one, bottom one. We're making it Deep Water. Favorite
Okay.
thing about it, least
Okay.
favorite thing. That's what we'll go into Deep Water. If you haven't seen Deep Water on Hulu, we won't spoil too much for you. But also, I hope you maybe see it and maybe you could save this podcast for later, for the end of the podcast for later. Let's get to the news.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Oh man, it's Monday, folks. It's really Friday, but is it Monday? Who knows anymore? Tuesday. There's all days, but whatever. Let's do things. Playing all the swells. Back to you, Noah.
All right, Noah, what are the headlines today?
I have good news today. Younger
Oh.
women now earn at least or as much or more than men in 22 metro areas.
Whoa. I'm feeling 22 metro areas where young women are making more than men.
And
Okay.
nationwide,
23.
women 30 and younger earn 93 cents for every dollar made by a comparable man. Which is
Okay.
This tells
good.
me two things.
Well, also, what? This isn't good news for me. I'm not a younger woman.
Yeah, actually, women your age are making.
What?
I don't want to say the number. It's bad.
Dinner tonight?
6 cents for every $40 a man. No. But are men just making less money? Could that be it?
I know that men aren't working as much and men are out of work and feeling
Yeah.
really, men are just depressed. And so maybe that's affecting it. Noah, what are they saying?
They're saying it's probably because of like transparency, just being and people just being more open about the salaries that they earn.
Yeah.
And as women do get older, though, the gap kind of widens, and it's because,
Being stretched?
because they become
we're
moms,
stressed out.
so they get out of
we
the labor
become moms.
force.
Got it. There's less of us.
That's what I'm saying.
It is so weird. Like that's what was my question for that finance woman. Like, is she married? Does she have kids? Because it just
that's
is
why
like,
you're asking that.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, okay.
it just there. I know you can do it, but it's just different. It's
And
just
I also
different.
think like the disparity, like if it's a low level job
Mm.
versus a CEO, like obviously there's not that many CEOs in their 20s at this point.
I just looked at the billionaires, like the richest people in the world. The
How many
richest
are
woman
women?
in the world.
How many are women?
Of the top 10, none.
That's what I'm saying. My point is as the number goes higher, the percentage goes lower.
Yes.
Is what I would guess.
Yeah. They did the top 10 richest women in the world, and I think the richest woman is like, she's like the
It's Bezos' wife.
no, it's the founder of like or she owns L'Oreal and all of those like extension brands or whatever, and it's somewhere in the 60 billions, which is not even close to like number 10 on the like. It's just we're not even close to cracking the top 10. It's wild.
Well, a lot of the richest women are divorcees of
Yes.
men, but
Yeah.
and then they give a lot of the money away because they
Because they
realize-
have like kindness in their
Yeah.
hearts, and
What the Spanx girl makes a lot of money. The women on Shark Tank make a lot of money.
Kim
Yeah.
Kardashian was it
Kim
like they did the
Kardashian.
celebrities and like Kim Kardashian, Rihanna were in the top
Beyonce.
10.
Oh yeah,
I don't think
Rihanna's
she was
like billionaire status now.
I think Jay-Z was a
Rihanna
billionaire,
hasn't put
but-
out a song in 20 years, but
It's
she
through her
only makes
lingerie
money.
and makeup line too.
Yeah, which is a complete. Anyone who gets that kind of wealthy from a brand, I watched this whole YouTube thing about it. It's a subscription service to get the Fenty thing, Fenty by Savage, Fenty X Savage line. You do subscription service that it automatically signs you up for. It's like so unethical, and they make all their stuff in sweatshops. Like it's one of the most egregiously unethical brands, and like they trick their consumers with all these extra like add-ons. It's wild. And it was just, this girl just had a great point. She goes, anyone that's a billionaire is doing something unethical. There just isn't a way to get that rich without being a bad person. And
Did you see Atlanta this week?
yeah, I loved. Well, I also saw the
latest
first
one?
episode.
It
It's so good.
It touches on this.
Yeah.
I mean, it touches on everything, but
The first. Do you know that's a true story? That first episode of Atlanta,
like first.
the first one you told of the third season.
Oh.
So if you haven't seen Atlanta before, I really recommend the season because it's completely. It's not linear. Like it's not going with the series. Like I haven't seen any
It
episodes
does.
since the
Season
first.
2 and 3, or episode 2 and 3, it starts becoming linear.
Okay,
but,
well, the
but
first
it jumps a
episode-
lot. But yeah.
It's so just it's a story. It's a true story about these two lesbian like do-gooders that adopted all of these black children that were in foster care, and then like it just gets wild. But it's a true story, and you should really watch it. I loved it so much, and I thank you for recommending it to me. What's the next story?
Okay, there's drama in St. Louis, and the story was sent by a bestie. A St. Louis restaurant stands up to a Los Angeles food blogging influencer after a negative review. Okay, so here's what happened. The place called Corner 17, have you guys heard of that restaurant?
No.
Okay, it's a Chinese restaurant, was approached by an influencer who has over 200,000 followers on Instagram and said to pay him $100 and he would record the food as it was being made and then post it on his account. The owner declined. He said, no, thank you. The guy went to the restaurant anyway and then posted on Instagram, on his Instagram story, that the food tastes like ass or such a floral taste to these, and then like a vomit emoji. So the restaurant owner, even though he doesn't have as many followers and stuff, he stood up and he exposed that the guy asked him for $100, and he's like, this guy is just coming here and we refuse to pay him $100
good.
and he's attacking us. So a lot of people in St. Louis supported the restaurant and stood up for it. So I was wondering if you guys heard about that story.
No, I haven't heard of it, but influencers can be so gross.
Yeah, that makes that
And
story.
you
I don't know why
this
it
guy,
makes me
he
angry.
could have been the best meal he's ever had, and he was never going to give it a good review.
Yeah.
It's like people just come into situations looking for reasons to hate it, and I've been that person before of like I'm just going in with negativity or like, but yeah, that sucks, and good on that guy for like
you know
not
what?
just taking it and saying
I'll go there this week, and I will give a true, honest review.
true.
Even if it's bad,
You'll
I
go there
promise
this
you,
week.
I will go
Corner
there
17.
this week. Corner 17, I'm coming. Get that ass ready, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat it.
Okay. All right, I like
will.
it.
Do you want to go?
I can't. I'm out of town.
Yeah,
Damn
right.
it.
I've heard that before.
I'm going.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Where are you going, to the pre Grammys?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to the pre
Man.
Oscars too. They're backed up all the way. We're doing a pre-show of the pre-show of the pre-show of the pre-show of the, all the way to the next Oscars. Which
I will go there
okay,
though.
I'd
yeah.
love to see you go there.
I hate a guy. $100. First of all, like, what do you like?
I bet I know what this guy looks like too. This little catty
Oh,
bitch.
I'm sure.
Just like this.
I didn't
little
want to
fucking
say his name because I didn't want to give him
influencer.
any kind of support, even
Yeah,
good or
fuck him.
bad. None of
Yeah.
that.
Bad press is good press. So yeah,
And-
good. Keep his name out of your mouth. In the words of Will Smith.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that when you say something like that, like when he was like, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. He like said it twice because he had nothing else. You know, like we heard you the first time. And, you know, like whenever someone repeats themselves like twice, comedians do it too of like, the punchline. Da, 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 da. It's like, no, we heard you. You're just wasting our time with this.
There's
second.
nothing funnier than someone that is angry and they can't find the word.
I mean, that's why he punched him. It's like he did not have words.
Well, you can't compete with Chris Rock.
I know.
I mean, it would have been so ugly.
It would have been. That's what he realized as he was walking to the stage. He was probably like, "Oh fuck, I don't have anything to say to this guy."
Well, did you see Chris almost went in and you could hear him under his breath be like, I forgot exactly what the lines were, but he said something like, I could say so. Essentially, like, I got so much to say.
Oh,
this.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
But
He
he's
probably
keeping
knows so
quiet.
much.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like
No,
on
no,
TV.
but
He
he
keep
said,
quiet now. For now.
he said something, though, like under his breath of like,
I could
he
destroy-
knows
yeah,
so much shit.
I mean, every celebrity at that level knows so much stuff that could take down everyone. I mean, even I know stuff that could take down people's careers. So, and I've barely got my foot in the door in that way. But like, yeah, I'm sure he knows so much stuff.
Those celebrities luckily paid you $100 to keep you fucking your mouth shut.
Yes.
You fucking
So-
mouth.
I love. Yeah, this is my fucking-
Feels
all right.
fun though to repeat.
It is. Yeah.
Try it.
sometimes-
Call me a name and then say it twice.
You dumb piece of golf shit. I don't know. I just
Now
want
do
to
it
call
one
you
more
golf.
time, but a
You
little bit-
dumb piece of golfing shit.
Feels
Yeah, I
good,
mean, I
don't
guess
it? Yeah,
does.
yeah. That's
I don't know.
good.
It feels mean. All right. Next story.
Okay, we'll do a quick one before our break. Pets have the potential to make their owners more attractive. They serve as both conversation starters and tools for relational maintenance.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. Pets
And-
are so good for everything.
Puppies.
So, a part of the research, which I found interesting, the study shows that women were more discriminating regarding the association of a potential partner with pets than men.
They were more discriminating. Like, oh, well, my thing is always like, if he has a dog, I'm just like that. He's in every fucking picture with in Bumble or whatever.
So he's going to give too much attention to
I'm
the
just
dog.
like, get over your dog. Like, I can't stand
Oh,
these
so maybe
guys that are
that's
just
why.
like, all they care about is their dog. Like, I love my dog, but it's too much to be like, he's my everything. I live and breathe this. Like, it's just too much. I'm just like, go just fuck your dog already. Like, I'm never gonna. And sometimes the dog is like not that cute, and I'm just like, I don't think I'll ever like this thing as much as you do, and that's gonna be a divide between us. I'm opening up some pickles because I really want one right now.
First of all, the word pickles is my favorite.
I love
One of my
pickles
words,
so much.
My favorite word.
I just brought it out because I think it would be funny, and it's not the most annoying thing. Like, listen to this crunch.
Kind of looks like a dog's penis, to be honest.
I'm not gonna chew on mic.
Okay,
go to
so I'll
break.
keep going.
What do you think, Andrew?
No, I know. It was a joke to just be quiet the whole time while you don't eat off mic or while you eat off mic. I think that if a girl has a dog, I got to think that maybe it's from a past relationship, so maybe there's baggage there, potentially.
That would make
Girl
me
or
really
guy?
sad if
Girl
that
or
was the
guy?
reason.
Girl or guy?
Yeah.
I think maybe that could be a reason, or I don't know. I'm trying to think why a girl would not, other than that, would not like a guy. Either they're allergic, I don't know.
It also
I don't know
says
what it
that
could
women
be.
are
doesn't
more
keep me
likely to pay attention to how a date interacts with their pet than men,
Oh.
which is
So
kind of like what
that's how-
Nikki was saying.
Right, like
Okay. But they don't care if the person actually owns a dog.
I care if someone is like, I don't care if you're like fawning over. I've had Luigi when I've been single and guys have met him, and Marianne when I had her, and I wasn't like sad if they didn't show enough. I'm just like, it's just, they don't need to be like fawning over it. If they were just totally dismissive of it, I'm just like, well, that's kind of weird. But
I've seen some real assholes, like real like dark thinking assholes.
Mm-hmm.
When they see a puppy or a dog, they turn into like their 7-year-old self when I think they probably like something shitty happened to them. You know, maybe a dog bit their
Yeah.
dick or something. But they go from like,
suck their dick.
yeah, fuck this fucking,
Yeah.
and it's just like, I don't know what that is. What do you think that is? Like where they're, I don't know.
it just makes us, because they're so freaking cute. And it reminds me, I had this joke once where I was at the dog park and this guy was like, what's your dog's name? And I was like, Luigi. And he was like, but what do you call him? And I was like, Luigi. And he was like, what do you call him? And I was like, little woo woo, and he was like, oh God. I was like, I know. He's like, yeah. It's like,
Oh, look,
it's
he
just,
looked up. He looked up.
Are you a little woo woo? Are you a gentle Mike?
I was
Yeah.
taking a shit at a dog owner's house when I used to walk dogs, and he was a big real estate guy, like a boss.
Yeah.
And I heard him like talking to his little toy poodles, like
the little babies.
Oh, daddy's home.
I know.
And he was like down on the ground, and I come out of taking a shit, and he's just like,
Hey man, what's up?
"What's up, dude?
Yeah.
Oh man, you ever punch a kid?" And I'm like, "What? You don't have to."
All right, we gotta go to break. We'll be back with Top 1 Bottom 1, Deep Water Edition. All right, we're back. Well, let's do Why Do I Care before we get to Deep Water.
Why do I care?
Why do I care?
Okay, let's see if you care about this. Sydney Sweeney, the 24-year-old star of shows like Euphoria and The White Lotus, told Ellen that she invited her entire family, including her uncle and grandparents, to the premiere of Euphoria, and they all watched her nude scene.
Okay.
When Ellen asked her how her grandparents reacted, she said, "They said I have the best tits in Hollywood."
Ooh.
It's good and bad, I guess.
She really does. By the way, I've sent some pictures, not many a picture, but a couple pictures of her, maybe one, to my boyfriend just to be like, check out this fucking like lady. Like, isn't she like, and he was like, yeah, it's not my type, but like, yeah, really good. But she's made me stop and go, yikes. She's got a great bod. Yeah, I like her a lot. I feel a little uncomfortable by this whole comment, but you know, that's okay. I like that she is okay with that. I would be very uncomfortable. Like when my dad was like, va 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 voom about me.
I was wondering if you would invite your entire family, like if you had your own movie
I would say
and there was a nude
earmuffs.
scene.
You know, I would say, don't listen to me naked. I would say, you know, close your eyes at this part.
Yeah.
I don't want my parents seeing me naked. My
Just
mom,
your
I can
grandpa
handle
like
it.
This.
Uncle,
Like, you know what I mean?
TV.
It's just, it's nice. I mean, my grandma being like, hey, your cock, great cock there. And
Yeah,
scene
best
4,
cock
like,
in Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
she'd be a liar, but I'd love her for it.
Hollywood, Florida.
At that
She'd
daddy.
also be a liar. Yeah, it would be. I wouldn't mind my mom seeing a nude scene or like a love scene because it's my. I just.
There's
but
something
my
to like your
I-
dad supporting your comedy. You talk about blowjob. You talk about
Yes, but that's not eliciting boners in people. Like, or it's not meant to. Whereas nude
Yes.
scenes often are trying to get you in a romantic. Like, if it was, I don't know. I just would feel more uncomfortable with it actually being witnessed. Like when my dad on Not Safe, when I did the lie detector, when he said he had heard me having sex, it was the worst thing I've ever heard. Like it was
That's
as
what
bad
he
as
said.
I
yeah.
know.
But
It was I didn't think it would be like, but
Yeah.
there's something about being heard in that context is different than me telling a story of it. And I don't know why.
I mean, that show. Have you watched one episode?
No.
The tits is like the least cringy part of that show. Like,
Right.
so I can't believe
She was like, "What about my pussy,
Yeah,
Grandma?
grandma.
What about my grandma, my asshole, Grandma?"
Also, they are teenagers in the show. It's a weird. I
weird.
watched the show. It feels dirty sometimes to watch this show, even though it's very entertaining.
Yeah.
But the guy that creates it, like, I don't know what goes on in Hollywood. Like they're like when her tits are great, right? Mm-hmm. She's playing a teenager.
Mm-hmm. 18 or
No, I guess. I mean, then she would have to be. She was a junior last year, right? If it
okay,
was 2
yeah,
years.
yeah.
They don't really show the high school at all either, by the way. They
Right.
don't show the teachers. Mm-hmm. They kind of keep you in this like adult world too.
So
then
you
see
forget that
them-
they're not even
Yeah.
contextualized as children.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know why he does that. It's a weird choice.
Well, maybe because it would be so uncomfortable to see them, to be reminded that they're children.
Shit.
No.
Oh.
I just remember like being in we were talking about this at the cellar the other night, getting in trouble for watching Dawson's Creek like in high school. I was like that they were doing too many sexual things. Like now kids are watching Euphoria. I mean, it's
Yeah, 10 years from now, it'll be
different
like
world.
It'll be like anal
I don't wanna
POV, and it'll be like, dude, remember when Euphoria like only showed tits, and now
I
we're
was
like
watching
seeing
porn last night and all I could think about was how the things that I'm watching are accessible to like children. To like, it's just it's not okay. It's just not okay. I'm really like porn is really bad for
It
the
is.
world.
Yeah,
it's
is.
really really bad. It should be something that children should. There should be ways that kids can't get it.
They try.
They have no control over it now, and I love porn and I like porn stars, and I don't think what they're doing is trying to like ruin.
But could it be a thing that it's just like not taboo anymore? It's like, oh, that's a pussy. That's a pussy. Like, could there be? Some,
No,
you know what I mean?
think,
No, like
I think
if
free
you're
sites like Pornhub and stuff, they're under a lot of scrutiny because there's a lot of like sex trafficking and like uploading of videos of minors and stuff, and it's not regulated or anything like that. So
Yes.
I think those are the sites that
yeah,
are.
but that was
I
before
know that I have
Euphoria
watched
became an
videos.
HBO show.
I know that I have watched videos
You know what
where
I'm saying?
the girl, I read this somewhere the other day about porn. It's like, yes, these women are consenting to do this. Like maybe you'll see them in a video before it happens. Like I watch like sometimes like brutal things. Literally the word brutal is in it. And the thing is like these women may have signed on to this, but much like I have been in sexual situations sometimes where something starts being like not fun for me and I don't like it. And I just don't say anything because it's too big of a fucking production to stop it. So you just let this thing happen that you don't like. And in porn, that can be such a slippery slope because not only are you like, it's when it's just me and a guy and he's doing something I don't like and I'm like, oh, I'll just put up with it. Like, who cares? It's going to be over soon. That is already such a sad situation to be in. And it's not his fault. I'm just trying not to be awkward or like make him feel bad. But when you're on a set and there's people who are like union employees and their lunch, like them stopping down because you're feeling uncomfortable and ruining the scene and having to, it's just like, there's so many times that women have continued on with these scenes and you put up with this much that makes uncomfortable. And then you go, okay, well, if I'm willing to do that, then it gets a little bit more uncomfortable and you go, okay, that too. And then it can easily get out of hand. So I know I've witnessed women doing things that they really did not sign up for. And I just know it because it's just, there's no chance that I haven't. And I'm grateful for those horrible experiences women went through because I'm not grateful for it. I'm so sad that it happened, but like I want to say that like I see you if that's you, and like I'm sorry I came to what you went through. I really am, but I see you, and I'm trying to figure out how to be at peace with it, or like separate myself from it, or like because I don't want to support these things. I'm grateful was the wrong word. Please don't take that out of context. But I just want to say like you are putting yourselves in situations that are really scary, and to make content for people like me. And I appreciate that, and I'm sorry that if it's not a better situation.
Man,
you know,
this is an amazing Oscar speech.
it's my AVN award.
Yeah.
They might not have asked me to host again. The AVNs, they've asked me before. I would just be like, this is. What if I just turned it into like a whole expose about how the business is so terrible?
And then you just add. I just love the ending of, and that's the only way I can come. But
I know
it's just so funny to see like President Zelensky doing like, we have to stop Russia. The Western world must help us. And if you do, it's the only way I can come. You know what I mean? Or like, we've seen so many dead bodies.
Oh my
and it's
God.
the only way I
but
can
I'm
come.
grateful for those dead bodies because that's the only way I can climb. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
literally what I just sounded like. Okay, I regret everything.
It's Russia's
I don't know what
fault.
I'm talking about. It's too late in the day. Let's. It's really late at night in the day.
But your face looks great.
Thanks. Okay, let's get to top one, bottom one. Deep Water edition. Okay, so let's talk about this movie, Deep Water, that we all watched on Hulu.
Oh my God.
We are going to talk about our top one and bottom one moment from it. Let's start with bottom because that's where literally every kind of anecdote or thought about this movie belongs. It was a movie starring Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas, and they were banging each other when they made it. That's why I wanted to watch it. I thought it would be super sexy, and it is a very sexy movie. It's a thriller. I just love when people on screen are banging off screen, and I know it. I just like seeing that chemistry. It makes me feel like I'm in their relationship a little bit, and it's voyeuristic. She is amazingly gorgeous. It is a movie about a guy, Ben Affleck, and this woman who are married and they have a kid, and she is a woman that is constantly sleeping with other men in town, and he knows about it, and the town knows about it, and he's like a cuck, and then they start disappearing and getting murdered, and you wonder if it's Ben Affleck, and then hilarity ensues. And there are snails.
There are snails.
My least favorite part, my bottom part of this movie,
the wallet,
was the snails. It was shoehorned in. They served no purpose. He was a guy, Ben Affleck's character is his husband, and he has this whole like snail garden where he like has a bunch of snails in a tank, and like it's not like they eat the dead bodies that he's killing or allegedly killing. Like there's no, I could understand if he was like into compost and you're like, oh, maybe that's what he's doing with, like, all along that's where the bodies were going or something.
Yeah.
The snails were just sliming up things.
but the snails represent like
What?
moving slowly in the sense of like.
So does anything else.
I know. I'm
It's
just
such a-
saying, like,
it was originally based off of a book, and I think the snails played a part in the book in a big way. I want to say I've done research on this movie because it's so insane to me that this thing got made, that they had to. The director directed a bunch of thrillers back in the day, like some of the best thrillers that there were. Hasn't directed in so long. He's like 89 years old. So you have an elderly director.
Yeah.
That is probably part of the problem. They had to do reshoots on it like a year later, because the finished product, it was supposed to come out in 2019
Oh wow.
before the
Isn't someone from
pandemic.
Euphoria also? Isn't one of the creators of
Yes.
Euphoria?
What's his
Oh,
name?
the writer,
Jacob.
Sam something. Oh yes, the actor's
Ellerdy.
in it, but one of the writers is
Yeah,
Sam
is-
Levinson or whatever. The guy.
I don't know
from
his
Euphoria.
name, but when I read about it, I noticed
Oh.
that, and that explained a
so
lot.
so what do you? But the snails, they.
It's
I don't want to
bothers
give
me.
away anything.
So many
but
things
the
bother me.
wallet.
Okay, yeah, they just got slime all over it. What were they doing to the
Maybe
wallet?
they were eating the wallet. Maybe
No, they weren't.
snails eat things.
Well, then they should have shown the snail eating it, or parts of it decaying.
The snail is the pig of the.
Okay, so for you guys,
Insects.
but the wallet was some evidence that maybe someone was trying to get rid of, and so Andrew's saying like maybe he was trying to get rid of evidence. That's not what was happening. It just was a wallet with a bunch of slime on it in the snail tank. It's
Yeah,
so
I know,
stupid.
but what was it doing in the snail tank?
Because maybe he
who
thought
the
no
fuck
one
knows?
would open it. That's
Oh,
what
no
I
one
thought.
would go
I was
in
like,
there. Yes, the snails are so gross; it keeps people from opening it. But then
Okay.
why not? Why not
No,
work with
you just-
tarantulas
yeah,
or something
no.
that people are
Or
actually
snake.
scared of?
It felt
Yeah.
so forced. That's why I was like, maybe it's
Right.
deeper. That's
It's
why.
so
yeah.
stupid. It makes no
Okay,
sense.
so what was your
That's
least?
my least favorite thing.
Which one? Which
Snails.
one? Oh, the snails.
Snails.
Shit. I have so. It was hard to
Pick
get through
one,
that
man.
movie, man.
Pick one.
Pickle. All right. I mean, I would have to say just her at the party, just completely.
Oh, the singing?
Completely wasted and completely just. It's one thing to be
And
a
then everyone
cuck.
stops and looks at her because she's like
Yes.
so enigmatic, and she's like wasted
Oh,
playing
that's a
piano.
different party. That's a different. The first party with the blonde hair guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She was like singing with the piano at that party.
No, that was the second party.
No, that was first party
whatever.
too.
Oh, first party. Okay, so
Yeah.
either party, her at a party. It's one thing to cuck in the private. Cuck away. If that's what Ben likes, you cuck him in the.
It isn't
but
what he
at
likes,
a-
though.
No, I know, but at a party, it's just it really
all
got
of
me.
Ben's
It
friends
got me. It was
around.
bad. It was bad. It was bad because
But that was what the movie. That I have to say, that was part. That's something I liked about it because.
but
it
he
was
wasn't
so
into
weird.
it. That's why it made me so angry.
I know, because she was fucking with him. She knew he would never leave her. She said that. Like, I
Yes.
know that what are you going to do about it? Then leave me. And he's not doing it. So she was almost testing him. Like, she was Jada Pinkett Smithing it. Like, she wanted to push him because she wanted to see him act out because she got so horny from him loving
Yes.
her and wanting her so bad and getting jealous that she did that to fuck with him. I mean, so many scenes they would be making out and then she would make eye contact with him while they were making out. So she loved
I know,
it.
but I thought she
I-
was
I
black
took a-
snailing him because
I had a whole other.
Yes,
Oh.
I know. What was
I think
your thought
at
on
the
it?
end, I think at the end we should talk about like what we thought the plot was, because my
Okay.
plot
Okay.
interpretation was totally different. But to what Andrew was saying about the parties, so if anyone didn't watch it, it was about like these affluent people, and they would be at a party like every single day. I was like, aren't these people exhausted?
well, it was in New Orleans.
So many
There's
parties.
so many
it
parties.
was Louisiana. That's why. I
And
think.
it was so funny. I was looking at all the extras, and they're just all these people. No party would have this kind of people at it. Like, it was just such a mismatched group of like. It was filmed during the No, I guess it wasn't filmed during the pandemic, but it was just like, It's so funny. Party scenes in movies, like, it's just the weirdest looking groups of people. But they were always going to so many parties. You're right, and that was another annoying thing of it. And
But didn't you think that she knew that she had something on him just more than the love? like that she knew that he actually murdered the one guy. You know what I mean? That's how I felt. I felt like she had something on him, and that's why he kept being such a cuck bitch.
Interesting. Okay, I kind of like that, but
But it turned out that wasn't, or
yeah, that
maybe it
wasn't.
was. Who knows?
Who the fuck knows? Because the ending is so stupid.
Oh my god!
Oh, you know what my least favorite? Can I just say my least favorite
More
part?
than snails?
No, more than snails. This was only if you've seen it, and I'm sorry. When Ben is with the stick at the end, like poking around to get that guy like back in the water, and that guy, the author, shows up
Well,
out
how
of
was he
nowhere.
there?
Why was he there?
Oh my god!
Why was he there?
This actually brings me to my other least
What?
favorite.
They should just have given him
The
a reason to
biking.
be there. Why was he there?
He knew. I think he heard of this creek before.
He knew
No,
that there was a
because-
body in that creek.
No, it's because
What?
he had nothing else to do with his day except for be suspicious
Follow
of
Ben.
Ben Affleck.
Oh, so he's following
follow
him.
Oh,
there.
and he had to follow.
I thought he
had the
just
thing.
wound up there, like, because I'm like, oh, I'm on a hike, and I just happened to see this guy who I suspect of murdering out with a stick trying to
It's
poke
just
a body.
a town with people who have nothing to do.
And
than
why, if
party
he
and
thought
follow
that
each
Ben
other?
was a murderer, would he like go stumbling in his dress shoes down a ravine and get
so
closer to a
weird.
guy who's obviously doing something nefarious and will definitely kill you if he like? It was
Can we
so
go-
dumb.
can we get into this?
And when he was speeding
Ben on
away
the
from
bike.
Ben, and he goes, "Oh, now I'm gonna write a book about you." He was like saying all these dumb runaway things, and I'm like, "Focus on getting away, you freaky dumb old man."
He's like the murder. He's
And
talking.
why was his wife so young?
He's talking into his phone like. Chapter 4.
Oh, yeah, he
the
was doing-
murderer. It's like he's sitting there.
I know.
He's right behind
He's
you.
right behind you on a bike going so much faster than you can drive in your little dumb station
But can we
wagon.
get in that?
What?
Into that?
Him biking everywhere?
Well, it's the Friday the 13th Jason walking faster than someone runs. Get the fuck out of
Ben
here.
was good at biking, though. He biked everywhere, and he took shortcuts that the guy didn't know about.
That is true. A shortcut could get you
That
pretty
guy was
far.
on. That's another thing of don't text and drive. Don't try
While
to do
writing
voice
a
notes
book,
and drive while driving away from Ben Affleck coming after you on a bike to murder you.
Okay, so what's
Noah,
our
what's-
best parts? I don't even know what our best.
But Noah hated the
oh.
parties. The best part for me was how hot they both were.
Oh.
And the scene where they have sex, it was super duper hot. And I did not like any of the sex with the other guys, really. I just wanted her and Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is so freaking good looking. He's still got it. Love the face work. They definitely had chemistry in that one scene, and I definitely think he takes jobs to get naked with women that he wants to hook up with, and I don't begrudge him for it because I'm sure it's just part of the reason that he takes these gigs. But that is those sex scene that one was super hot.
Noah, do you have a best part?
Okay, it's like I really had to dig in there to say this.
Yeah.
But I guess I kind of like the sexual tension. I like the idea of like cucking and stuff like that. But cuckoldings, I should say. But it didn't do it right because of all the other things that we discussed.
Yes.
Did
Did you like the little girl like singing in the car at the end after we
No.
watched this awful murder scene?
No,
to
I
lighten
didn't.
the mood. Oh, outtakes. The little daughter, 4-year-old, singing the Bee Gees in the back of car. It was like the dumbest thing during the credits to have this little girl like singing a song. It was so stupid.
Her singing made me understand the wife cheating. Like that's how bad her singing.
Oh my
was.
god, I loved her being such a bad mom.
Wait,
So I think-
tell me your tops, and then I want to tell you what I thought about the
My
movie. 'cause-
top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess the only thing that like the one it is weird to like
her
I
being
was
naked in a lot of it.
No, it wasn't even that. Although that
Her,
was
her
paused.
my
She is
top is her
beautiful.
not wearing a top.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess when Ben. Okay, first of all, I was rooting for Ben because I hated her so much, and then by the end of it, I wanted them all to die.
Yeah.
But when Ben sat down, the Brad Pitt younger looking guy, the first guy she was fucking, and at the party, and told him that he murdered the other guy.
Yeah, that was good.
That was.
Oh, yeah,
And then when the guy came over and Ben was still like giving him food and like I did enjoy that because it gave Ben at least some backbone.
Yes.
But that was the only redeeming thing
Okay.
about the whole movie.
Final thought, Noah. What do you make of this movie?
Okay, so at first I thought the same like you, like this woman cheats and, you know, it stresses him out and all that. And then as the movie started to end, I realized, like, I thought that it was more of this woman is trapped by this guy who is a genius and he's very wealthy and powerful. And I thought it was like an erectile dysfunction thing where he could not satisfy her. but also would not let her leave the relationship, and she would have all these affairs, and she obviously had some kind of like sex addiction or something, and
Yes.
and every time she would get that satisfied, he would go and kill these guys, and she would just feel trapped in this loop. That's what I took away from it.
But he did fuck her though, the one scene, right?
Yeah, he
like,
did fuck
well,
her.
apparently.
Well, do you remember at the party when she like backed up to him and he's like, well,
yes, that was hot.
I thought like, she's teasing him because she knows that he can't keep an erection, so it's just going to tease him a little bit. And then,
I love this.
Wow.
It's such a funny plot twist of like
That could
hey,
have been solved with Viagra.
Yeah.
The whole fucking movie.
Yeah, it ends with him. Should I murder the guy or get a hard cock?
I think it was just a vehicle for just a sexy movie that really taught me nothing, told me nothing, didn't make me think about anything deeper. Just made me, honestly, what I took away from it is that I need to make movies because anything goes.
yes.
Anything fucking goes. Like there's sometimes you see movies and you just go, how, there's a podcast, How Did This Get Made, about these kinds of movies. I can't wait until they do this movie on there. But it really does blow your mind, the stuff that gets made. And this was an example of something that should not have been made. I'm glad it was. You got to see it because it's just so weird. The music is good. The cinematography is good.
What about the cops? The cops? Oh my God.
What cops?
I don't remember them.
The detectives.
Oh,
When he
yeah.
murdered the guy.
Oh my God. Ugh. Oh, what about
The good
I'm
cop,
sorry.
bad cop? They didn't even get into
so
it.
she snaps one. So he murders her boyfriend, right? This is like the second one of all the guys he's
In
murdered.
front of 100
and,
people.
and he murders him
Or
at,
whatever.
at a party at their
Yes.
friend's house, right?
In
so
a pool. The guy's 6'7".
And when he murders, when he
The guy's too tall to
after
drown.
he murders him, the cops come, right? And they're like, pulled the body out of the
Yeah.
fucking thing. And they're all sitting around trying to investigate it. And she starts screaming and crying, being like, you murdered him. I know you did. I know you murdered him. And so the cops are like, we're going to take you away. So she's screaming this in front of all their friends that are like freaked out because they just witnessed
Yes.
this guy dying. And then the next week, they're all at like a fun brunch party in this like backyard barbecue with all the same people. It's so weird.
So weird.
And
Or
what
what about
about-
when he went over for dinner? When he went to the guy's dinner? The book, the writer.
yeah.
Yes.
The
Oh,
author.
when he went, oh my God.
Oh, what about what? Oh, when he danced with the guy's wife, I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah,
I was
I
actually
like that too.
stoked
I was
on
like,
that.
get it, girl,
Yeah.
get it. I thought that we were gonna. I would have loved to see
Oh,
the sex scene between
I wanted
those
to fuck
two.
him on top of the writer's
I just
head.
wanted him to fuck a blonde girl so I could kind of blur my eyes and picture it.
That's why you like Sweeney's tits.
I mean, I always like girls that look like I'm always
Yeah.
more like porn, everything.
why-
I just
yeah.
want someone
I
to
only jerk off to fucking Danny DeVito. No, so
because you said I looked like Taylor Hawkins yesterday, and it was so funny because I've been thinking every time I see a picture of Taylor Hawkins, R.I.P. coming up, I think it's me for a second, and that's flattering to me. I do without makeup, I do look like Taylor Hawkins.
I mean, you could if you dressed like it would be.
And he has a
great.
great smile, like he's always smiling,
Dude.
and like it would be a good. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a good. It would have been a good Halloween
I
costume,
literally think you look like if Kurt Cobain and Taylor Hawkins had a baby.
and that's why you said I should never meet Dave Grohl. It would be very triggering for him.
Well, you'd be dead in a week.
Shit.
Shots fired.
Oh my God.
Baby drowned. Okay.
Oh God.
Here's the other thing about
10 sauces.
Here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Inside my belly. The movie is one of those movies you can't turn it off, and I'll give it credit for that. That
Okay.
I'll get maybe partly because you said to see this. I thought you might have loved it. I was also watching this movie where
You thought I might like it.
Yes.
so I didn't know at what point
I
is
love
Nikki the
that you
dumbest
think-
person on earth, or
I
is
love
that-
it.
Well, it took
That's
me
a
about
great April Fool's. I did have an April Fool's joke, and that was it. I
Yeah.
didn't mean to. They said something about April Fool's that I read that was like, you are meant to confuse, not abuse. That's what a good prank is. If the person can laugh afterwards. Confusion, not abusion, which I like.
Fuchsia said that. It is hard. There are certain movies that are so bad that they're, and this one was, I think, not bad enough. But
I don't
still,
know. We got pretty fired up here.
Yeah.
It just.
Can we do our top 10
It really
bad
made me
movies that you
happy.
watch the whole thing and actually
I would.
enjoyed it?
I don't watch bad movies. I don't watch movies in general. Like, so I don't. And I know there are a lot of bad movies from my childhood that I think are
Yes.
good because I was a child and children are dumb.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to even think of like one bad movie that I've seen that I walked out of Dinner for Schmucks. I hated it. I walked out of Horrible Bosses. Hated it. I thought it's just, these movies are just so insulting to your intelligence that any of this would fly. Any of these people would act this way. It's just like, I can't stand it. Just leave your job. Don't murder your boss.
It is so
No
funny
boss,
to think
if bosses acted this way, you know.
to see you buying a ticket for Deep Water. Like, it's just such a funnier thing to go to the movie
To
theater.
write Hulu and say, I think my monthly subscription should be
Yeah, I walked out of Deep Water.
complimentary this week. Yeah, I walked out of my living room.
Think about how many shows and movies we've walked out of that you know, we used
Right,
to have to
like-
go somewhere, whatever, to like.
Oh, I would walk out of theaters all the time. It was
really?
like my thing because
I never
just,
walked out of a theater.
I do not put up with something that is like, it's nothing. The theater doesn't give a fuck. The guy working like
They already got their money.
I don't want this movie to have my money. I don't want this man to make more movies. They
But he
need
already
to be
has your
punished.
money. He already has your money.
No, I'm taking it back. So it'll be one less box office money
Time
for
out.
them.
You would leave and ask for your money back?
If it was before 45 minutes in the movie, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not because I want that fucking money.
No.
It's because I need to send a message with my money that is, don't make these movies. This is not good.
I've never heard of anyone doing this.
People do it all the time, and you can do it anytime you want. I wouldn't do it now because like theaters are suffering, but back in the day when they were fine,
Yeah.
before Movie Pass, we gotta go.
Holy
Let's
shit.
well, shots fired.
Man.
We gotta go. Have such a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow on the podcast. Don't be and jazz for
Word.
your money back.